Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Rich. I wanted to add this video in really quick. Seven actually brought up a good point, and it's something that I mentioned in a comment, a reply on the Render Like Wrightson episode 3, I think it is. It's one I just put up. The obsessing over small details. Look, it was so obvious to me that this piece is inked loosely that I didn't really think that I needed to bring it up. But I mean, look, he doesn't do all of his lines like really nice and clean like this. And I'm aware of that, and just I'm trying to show you the direction of things, and then we'll get into like how to sort of create the cacophony of like craziness. Because I mean, if just as a simple example, okay, like this area right here, it's just a lot of stuff that he threw down. Some, are specific directions, but he's creating value. It's the same thing with this. He was saying too that like he doubted that Wrightson thinks about this. Okay, that's kind of obvious to me too, but the thing is at some point you need to obsess over the small details to get to the point where you can draw something and look at it and know what to omit, what to put in, where you can put a little scribbly stuff. I do it all the time on my black drawings. If you want to see examples, I put the links in the description below of my black drawing pieces. They're very, very detailed. And I do layers and layers of rendering, and I've done enough of them. I'm working on right now, actually. That I understand like how to build up things, and there's parts where I just cut loose because I'm just trying to get a fade. I'm not really worried about the lines, but stuff like this. But the problem is for me to do introductory videos into learning to ink like Bernie Wrightson, if I start showing people this right out of the gate, I think that it's going to probably kind of turn people off because it can look a little messy. It's the whole rhythm of the piece that creates a symmetry, comfortableness to it. But I mean, any part of this that you break apart, if I was showing you how to ink, sorry, I'm trying to see, like the edge of the table, I mean, like really look at these lines. I mean, they curve little different ways. But what he's doing is he's just showing a level of value. So this is like a 15% gray. We'll go back a little bit so we can actually read the value on it. Maybe that's a 30% gray. Then he's getting a little darker here, as this guy's probably putting a little bit of shadow here. But anyway, I just wanted to point out that I'm aware that this is cleaner than what Wrightson did, but the only way to really explain this initially, I thought, was to show you essentially kind of the patterns that he's using, and then sure, when you want to start bringing it into your stuff, we'll get more into this. But I think it'd be very, very difficult for me to do inking lessons where I'm showing you how to ink this sort of loose. I don't know if there's a lesson that could come early that shows that. I think it would be tough. It's a little bit like scribbling with ink or drawing with ink is what he's doing. But anyway, I just wanted to make that clear because it could be confusing. And, obviously with a video called Obsess Over like the Small Details, comparing mine to this, that would be something that I thought was so obvious I didn't need to point out. But yeah, so that's why. I mean, we can definitely work on some looser stuff. I really think that it's just something that's not appealing to most people, especially now, and it hasn't been for a long time. I mentioned in my reply to Seven that, I had a friend that used to draw really, really tight, and he would do kind of like almost like cell animation. But early on, when it wasn't as hot, like in comics, or well, I guess it never really did catch on. But at some point, he went for a lot looser style that was way more rendered, and it was very kind of quote unquote dirty looking. And people didn't really like it. And I remember talking to him at Comic-Con. He was like, yeah, he's like, people are starting into this new stuff that I'm doing. It can be seen as old school. It can be seen as kind of dirty and careless. And, there's a few artists that I'm thinking of that kind of do more of a vintage style. It's a little more heavy-handed and stuff like that. And I want to give you all the tools that we can pull out of Wrightson. And, the best way to get adept at it is to, first learn to control your line, and then if you want to speed up and put stuff down that's a little more spontaneous and a little more loose and random, then you can do it. I mean, like even here is a good example. He's got lines that are coming from here that are going into this wood. You know, just there's all these little things that, yeah, I see it. Should I point it out now? I don't know if now is the time. So anyway, there is a rhyme and a reason to what I do, and then also there's a difficulty for me because of the fact that I've been around art so long and I've done so much pen and ink stuff that it's hard for me to completely go back to like, what's it like to only have been inking for a year? What's it only like to be inking for 3 years? But I'm trying my best. So hopefully that sort of clarifies things, and will get you on the right path. If you want to go looser with your stuff and try some stuff that's a little more sort of frantic, by all means do it, you know? I'll try to show you the fundamentals, and then you can have fun with it and pull it any way you want. Okay? All right. I will talk to you all tomorrow with a little more breakdown of this. Okay, bye.